On the issue of wars, unfortunately, that has been more or less unabated. Again, if we look at the historical perspective, maybe there has been improvement, obviously, if you compare World War II. But even if we compare with the 60s and 70s, we had extraordinary violence. Cambodia, the killing fields. We had the Balkans War in the 90s. We had Rwanda in 94. Or even before that, we had a war of partition of independence of Bangladesh. 2 to 3 million people killed in less than 1 year. So compared with all of that, of what happened 20, 40 years ago, situation is much, much better. But we still have the ongoing problem in Congo and Southern Sudan, conflict with the north. Darfur is not over in terms of the displaced refugee people. And the problem is in North Africa, in the Sahel region, and not to mention in Asia, Afghanistan. Instability and uncertainty in Afghanistan in 2014 onwards, following the withdrawal of the US and NATO. And Pakistan, tremendous instability and challenges there. Bright spots, Myanmar. Still, they have taken few steps out of many hundreds of steps they have to take, but at least few steps in the right direction. But we still have the great danger of North Korea. Highly unpredictable, one of the worst, I would say, in our lifetime, today in this 21st century, North Korea is the single most anachronistic regime on the face of the earth. I don't know whether it can be comparable to any other regime except maybe to Khmer Rouge in Cambodia, with the exception that Khmer Rouge didn't have nuclear weapons. And we don't know much of the scale of the suffering in North Korea, as we didn't know in the beginning in Cambodia. Then when we found out too late, it was horror. Well, I hope we will not find out that after all millions died of killing and starvation in North Korea. And the fact is there is very little we can do about it. The US, Japan, Republic of Korea and others have been doing their very best to try to A, persuade North Korea to abandon nuclear weapons, B, to open up, at least for humanitarian. China is doing more than it's given credit for. I have ongoing conversations with the Chinese, and I know behind the scenes, in the Chinese way, they also, they don't tell it publicly, but they share the concerns of the United States and others in relation to the unpredictability of North Korea, because it is their neighbor, so they have to handle it with extra care. So that's where we are. Some very good notes, but some that is still of tremendous concern.